Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Apocrypha. We are excited to be here for our third session of our Apocalypse World or Powered by the Apocalypse game. Um, I don't have a lot to announce, but we've got a couple of things. We just hit our goal that we had set for a giveaway for YouTube over the weekend. So we are in the process of giving away another set of dice to all you fine folk out there that are following us on the YouTubes and the Twitches. If you are interested in winning a set of dice, head on over to our Twitter. The link is below. And if you're watching this on Twitch, otherwise, go over to Twitch, and the link is now below.
It's also below all our YouTube videos.
Is it? Yes, it is. So you can check that out there. There should be a link posted or a tweet that is posted at the top of the page. Follow that. Enter as many times as you like, or as many times as it'll let you. And we will be doing our drawing during our next session of Apocrypha in 2 weeks. So check it out. Otherwise, everything else is below. We're doing a lot of great streams, a lot of awesome things going on. If you want to keep up with any of that, all our schedules are below on Twitch. Should drink some water. But I'm going to persevere. So anyway, I don't think there's anything else as far as announcements, unless anybody else has anything to talk about. Otherwise, I'll do our normal spiel at the end of the stream. Good. All right. So let us get into our game and go back to Dakota and to Solomon's Train Yard and back into our session. Last time, recapping from our last session, we dealt with the fallout of the conflict between Garrett and Solomon's gang and the Black Dog, or the newly remerged Black Dog crew, as they had attempted to sway one of your comrades, your fellow man within Solomon's hold, to stealing some of your supplies and making their way, causing a lot of carnage in their path. You were able to stop this plot, and we dealt with some injuries to some people. We dealt with some drama between Garrett's gang and Solomon's gang, culminating in a rather intense showdown between Solomon and one of Garrett's dogs within Birdie's lab or infirmary, where Solomon laid down the law and shot the man in the heart. Other couple things, just reminding people along the way. I know Leo did some investigating, found some things in Ollie's house, the person who took Phoenix's truck and attempted to make a break for it. And anything else? That's about all that happened. The whole thing kind of culminated in a rather dramatic fashion as the member of Black Dog's game who you had kidnapped or captured woke up spouting some mumbo jumbo, and that is where we ended our session. So got a couple of little things to pick up before we actually begin the game. We need to do I guess first we'll go ahead and do history and highlighted stats. So highlighted stats, history's at the end, but yeah, you know what I mean. So we'll go left or right on my screen again. I'm not sure it's always the same. Leo, I have you first on here. So Leo, I'm trying to remember how this goes. Who has the highest history with Leo? I think is how this works.
There's a tie between Solomon and Phoenix.
Okay. Well, I think it's everybody else in the group who.
That's not how we did it last time.
Is that not? No, that's how we do it. I just can't remember because we've only done 2 sessions of this. So yes, it's a tie between Solomon and Phoenix. So Solomon and Phoenix.
Oh yeah, that's how we do it. If there was a tie, then the 2 people chose, and then if it was just one, then you got the other one. That's how we did it last week, I think.
Okay, we're gonna stick with that. I just didn't remember. So yeah, Solomon and Phoenix, each of one of you get to pick a stat for Leo to highlight.
You go first.
I am gonna say I want Leo to highlight his heart.
Gosh, yeah.
That's my -2. That'll be interesting.
I'm gonna say sharp. Well, no, I think I did that last time. Well, let's do weird. I like it when you get weird, so let's keep that up.
I do too.
Don't we all?
All right, Tesla.
It's probably Birdie. Let me look. Yeah, it's Birdie.
All right, Birdie. What would you like Tesla to highlight?
Sharp. Okay.
All right. Okay. Tesla. I'm gonna highlight your cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Birdie.
So am I telling you who I have highest history with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who's got the highest number on your page?
It's the tie between Tesla and Solomon.
Okay. Each one of you pick one.
I'm mute. So Tesla, go first.
I'm gonna do hard.
Okay.
Hot.
Yay! See you next, guys.
I think Birdie's hot has been highlighted every session so far.
Every time, and I haven't had a chance to do it.
Solomon.
I have a 4-way tie.
Oh crap!
I'm sorry, 5-way tie. I have a 5-way tie.
That's all.
Who hasn't picked one? So that's everyone, right?
Yeah.
That is everyone.
Okay. So who hasn't picked one for somebody yet?
Tonight? Yep.
Okay, so the 2 of you.
You go first, Kyle. You raised your hand first.
Screw it, I'm going weird on this one.
All right. Leo? Or
Yeah.
Alex as Leo?
Let's go sharp.
All right. Garrett.
That would be Tesla.
Really? Me?
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm gonna do weird.
Cool.
All right. I'm gonna say sharp.
Awesome.
And Phoenix, you're last.
Let's have a look at the thing. My highest history is with Leopold.
Okay. Leo, you pick one.
All right. Do something cool.
I'm gonna say. Let's say weird. All right. Last, or I guess we have 2 other things. One of them is Solomon's thing, but actually, Solomon, you go and do your thing because it's going to kind of influence, I think, a little bit of how the rest of this goes. So,
Are you speaking of wealth?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
things are going good. We're picking up here. Kind of a little bit of time has passed. A couple days have passed after all this conflict. I know there's some things you guys want to get done, some conversations you guys need to have. But you're uncontested right now after what's transpired.
Okay. So I rolled an 8. And between 7 and 9, you have a surplus, but you choose one want. I will look over a list of them. Do we have a list of them here?
I don't remember if I actually posted a list. They're in the...
Does that mean I choose a want, or do you choose a want?
That's...
It makes it sound like it's me, but that also doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
Yeah. Did you... I'm trying to remember if your surplus... Because your want was already the disease.
Yeah, the wants we have right now, just based on my setup, is hungry, reprisals, and disease.
Okay.
I don't know why we got hungry. I don't remember that, but anyway, that's what I have written down here.
Hungry, reprisal, and disease. So essentially, picking between one of those three.
Oh, is that how it works? So that's like my want cloud.
Yeah, that's the shit that's going to go down when you have stuff going on. As far as surplus goes, I don't know if there's also was there surplus attached to your hold?
Yeah, I got well, let's see, surplus. It says 1. Yeah, so I think I have like a base 1 surplus, and I guess I roll for an extra surplus. It's a little bit confusing because there's a lot of things that like undo the like previous things. So no. So okay, never mind. I'm confused because like surplus seems like a resource, and it also seems like a category of things.
The only resource in the game is barter.
All right.
Yeah.
So I wish it said +1 barter then. So I have 3 barter then. With this roll, I have should have 3 barter.
I think your surplus is you get an extra barter. I think that's sort of what I'm gathering from that. If it's +1 plus, then that means you're getting an extra.
Okay. So yeah, just my default is 2 barter, and so I have 3 barter.
So disease, reprisals, and what was the other one? Hungry,
yep.
Hungry. Here's what I'll say. Over the next couple of days, during the time we're going to play out some scenes here and do some stuff and do some RP, you're in a pretty good place right now. You've got this exchange program going on with Garrett. Everybody is, based on what happened, people respect and or fear Solomon right now. So you're able to get some shit done. But you do have to make a sacrifice when it's either coming to hygiene, food, or defenses is essentially where you're going. So I'm going to let you pick which reprisal you think, which kind of falls to the wayside, and which what are you focusing on?
I don't want more reprisals right now because I want to be more on the initiative side of that. I'm
really picturing like the Mass Effect like wheel here, and there's the 3 options, and it's like this is going to affect the rest of your game.
I'm going to say, even though like there's a part of me that feels like this is on the, like the list of needs, this is like the one that would beat all the other ones, but I'm going to go for hungry, just because I feel like disease is what drove away Oliver and like had people abandoning us. So we'll try a different poison this time.
Okay, so that's sort of the theme for this session now. Food is a problem over the next week or 2. So everybody can kind of get in that mindset. Is a lot of stuff's going on. Defenses are tight. Things are getting cleaned up a bit as far as spreading this disease, keep people quarantined. But in the meantime, a lot of murmuring about food and the difficulty of getting it. Probably some fights breaking out, things like that. So we've got that going on. In that line of inquiry, everybody's got to spend barter. Does anybody not have barter to spend? Garrett? Anybody else? All right. Everybody marks
still
off
have
one.
so much barter.
Everybody marks off one barter there, and you guys can tell me if you want to run some gigs during the session. We'll talk about that. I know we kind of talked about it before. Garrett, Howard, Garrett, I need you to roll me 2d6. You want to roll high.
10.
All right, you're good. That's all I'm going to say. So, Garrett, you're feeling the hunger right now. As far as everybody else, you guys kind of had some supplies stored up, but Garrett, your things are tight. So, also something to keep in mind. So, with all that being said, I think where I kind of immediately want to pick up, based on things that might have gotten skipped over in previous sessions, one scene that I'm going to kind of start us off with, and then you guys can say what you want to do next. But we're going to pick up 2 days after all the drama in Birdie's infirmary. The blood's been cleaned up. Your prisoner, I would assume, unless somebody tells me otherwise, has been moved out of the infirmary, or unless you guys are keeping him in there. No, I didn't think anybody would think that.
We'll move him my own self.
As soon as I made it so he wasn't gonna die anytime soon, get him out.
Probably not going to die anytime soon. But I'm going to assume, Solomon, you probably have a place you keep prisoners.
Yeah, just some sort of retrofitted train car. That's maybe something that was like used to be like a cattle car, or something like that, and maybe we reinforced the stuff in there.
Okay.
I feel like that feels.
I'm sort
like
of imagining. I'm sort of imagining something that probably sits out in the sun a bit. Probably,
Oh yeah,
gets
sit out in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think mostly it's just like drunk and disorderlies get thrown in there, but maybe, but yeah, this time it's a little bit. Probably have like an extra guard station there.
Yeah.
These are different circumstances.
So, I'm assuming that some people probably want to talk to this person and ask them some questions. My guess is Solomon's there, but I'm going to let anybody else that wants to be there say they're there too.
I would also like to be there in case anyone wants to do anything violent, and I have to keep them alive.
How healthy am I? Because I think I'm like more like half dead.
Excuse me very much.
Am I still? Well, hey, I was 75% dead. Now I'm just half dead.
That was the other thing I'm talking about. Who has injuries equal to 2 or 6 or less?
I am at 6.
You're at 6.
Yeah, I think I'm at 2.
At 3.
So 2 ticks. It's 3, 6, 9.
Oh no, I'm good.
2 ticks.
1 tick.
Well, does 0 count as a tick? Or does it start at 0?
No.
Guys,
Okay.
it's a clock.
How many
I
pieces
know. So
of
like,
pie
is
does
2
everyone
ticks
have?
6 o'clock? Then yes.
Yeah, 2 ticks is 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone except for Garrett, because you don't have barter and you're kind of healing's a bit slow. Everyone can reduce by 1 tick, as far as much they've healed.
Could someone spend barter for Garrett?
I'm gonna say if you want to moving forward at this point.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I can't because I don't know about it. I was just wondering.
Yeah, if it becomes clear to Birdie, and I assume he doesn't, but just based on his personality. But if it becomes clear to you and you want to give somebody barter during the session, you definitely can. If anybody's struggling.
I'm trying to think if Leopold would notice when they do their road trip out to Ford's farm. Because Leo is apparently just rolling in cash. I still don't know why the brainer starts with so much barter.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. So let's do this first, and you guys will probably be making a trip to Ford's because Ford's is where the food comes from. So maybe something you guys want to do in this session. But we're going to start with this one for now. So Solomon, you're kind of sore. real sore. But I imagine you're good enough at this point to get up to probably do this.
Okay. I think if Leopold will join me for this.
Of course,
And,
Solomon, Father.
Just
I'm
gonna.
coming too.
Okay, Birdie. I think I'm not gonna lead this one. I think I'm just gonna maybe lean back on a wall at the back of the car and just let Leopold lead, and I'll chime in if I feel like there's something that he's missing that I'd like more on. But I'm gonna kind of let him lead because this is what he does, and he knows what I want to know for the most part, and I'm there if there's like a gap. But I'm mainly just going to be kind of like leaning on the back wall.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I see Leopold's there, I'm second guessing coming along.
So who's not there? As I guess is everybody going to? Is everybody in on this?
I don't think I'm there because I'm pretty sure I'm keeping an eye on the kids while Dad is busy.
Okay, so you're keeping things and
I'm
keeping
sure
the law.
I'm watching something.
Okay. So you guys, you kind of gather, see what's going on. Maybe you catch wind. Maybe you tell them. Maybe they just show up. Solomon, but you making your way over towards your holding cell, the whatever you guys want to call this, the hot box or whatever.
The pen?
The pen.
It's like a cow pen, but it's not. But now it's like, because pen is like, never mind.
I was gonna call it the caboose, but we're gonna stay away from more trained metaphors at this point. You make your way over to the pen, or whatever you guys want to call it. It's.
We'll let Birdie think it's called the pen.
That's
Yay!
fine.
It's like, we're taking him out to pasture. Birdie.
Yes, exactly.
Your guards are still positioned there. It's sort of moved away from most of the community, and most of the hovels kind of scattered throughout or clumped into this train yard. I actually say it's probably pretty close to the edge, where it has the most exposure to the elements. And your guards sort of watch you approach a bit. They both sort of straighten up as you approach Solomon, and then they say, one of them, kind of a younger guy, says, "Are you going in there, sir?"
Oh, what do you mean? Sorry, got distracted.
Come on, Solomon. He's not talking about me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep an eye on the situation. It's all right.
All right. He kind of fumbles and gets the keys off his belt, walks over, unlatches the car, pulls up the big arm bar, kind of gating it shut, and slides the car door open. It reeks on the inside, and sort of this smell of kind of human squalor kind of comes out from within. And you can see, kind of exposed as the sunlight glares into this about 20 by, or I'd say probably 30 by 10 cart. You see your prisoner, now in chains, leaning up against the far side of the wall, drenched in sweat. He's got some 5 o'clock shadow, still looking a little bit pale, based on the injuries that have been semi-treated, but he's conscious, and he squints and looks up, kind of glaring at all of you as you stand there.
Is he sweaty because he's like, is it hot in here, or?
It's very hot in there, yeah.
Okay, well, that's not good. Okay.
He doesn't say anything, though. He just waits.
So at this point, Solomon's just leaning back there. So I will go up and approach him. I assume we have some kind of bars in between, but it's just...
He's chained, or he's in chains, which has sort of, there's a loop on the far side of the cart that the chains are worked through, so he can't lunge forward.
Do you know who I am?
He sort of grins a bit. He says, I couldn't give a fuck who you are.
So I take it Leopold means nothing to you. And I'd kind of watch to see if that registers on his face.
Sort of squints a bit. He says, I assume you're a heathen just like the rest of them.
Heathen, believer, it doesn't matter. But I think we're going to find that we get to know each other quite well. And with that, I reach out and I stroke his chin with my prosthetic hand. And I'm going to do a deep brain scan on him.
Okay.
Which, with my Violator glove, I can do it just instantly. And I have I forgot to do this the other time I did it, I have the receptivity drugs. So tagging someone gives you +1 hold if you then use a brain or move on them.
So you're going to use your receptivity drugs on him? All right. Probably going to need some help to get him to... That's something he actually has to, like, ingest by my sort of interpretation of it. The gloves work on contact, but there
could we... has he been, like, not eating his food and drink?
Well,
could we say that we've, like...
I will say the tags for it are just tag high tech.
Yeah, tag means it requires some sort of physical contact. I mean, I'll say the receptivity drugs work one of two ways. I'd allow them to be like ingested or like applied like through the eye or injected or something that.
Yeah, I'm imagining that part of the prosthesis is just kind of like needles in at least one of the fingers that I can just...
Okay. So you just sort of poke him and inject it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll allow that. I don't think he's ready for something like that. So I think that's pretty much something that you can do without any sort of roll. So as you kind of reach out and just like brush against you, he kind of recoils a bit, but not wanting to show too much, a little bit prideful, not wanting to show any fear, doesn't resist. And as you sort of stick him with the needle, he lunges backwards. By that point, it's too late. So make the roll for it. I assume there's a roll for it.
Yep. Deep brain scan, it's roll plus weird. So that's a partial success, which so on a 79, hold 1, but with the drugs I get +1, so hold 2. So I can ask 2 of these 4 questions. So of course I'm going to ask, what are your character's secret plans?
Okay. He kind of lolls back at this point, being sort of reeling. His eyes sort of glazed over as he looks around, and you know that you sort of got that hold there. And he just been to sort of mutter. He says, "We're gonna take everything you have."
Okay. And then I think the other question I will ask are, in what ways are your character's mind and soul vulnerable?
I'm giggling over there.
I can't stop laughing.
These questions are so particularly worded.
He kind of, at this point, begins to shut down a bit, and he kind of coils over on himself, brings his knees up towards his chest, and you see this obviously with fear across him, and he says, he's going, "My Lord will protect me. I fear no evil. My Lord will protect me. I fear no evil." You might be able to glean something from that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so these things were muttered out loud by him?
Yeah, you're hearing this stuff.
Okay.
I'll say, and I'll even let you in on a bit more because you have that psychic connection. I mean, you see in that moment, almost from his perspective, the light suddenly in the car turns to darkness, and you see these like red shadowy shapes that are you in the silhouettes of the people standing there. You see take on these monstrous sort of appearances, and you get this feeling of disgust, of revulsion towards these unclean and evil entities. And you see that he hates, equal parts hates and fears what that represents. Yeah.
Okay. So I think after that I'll sort of, back away from him and saying that, or getting all that. I know that your current accommodations are far from the most deluxe. It might be a bit dirty out here, exposed to the elements. A bird might be flying by and decide you'll make a good receptacle for its waste. I understand that you may not like us, but we are also all that is keeping you alive right now. Your lord cannot protect you here, but we can. I think if you show yourself to be cooperative, we may be able to adjust your accommodations here. Maybe make things a little more comfortable, as long as you continue to prove that you are not a waster.
Is that maybe make sure before this happens? Is that all you can get, or those two were the only things you get for the role that you had?
I believe so. Yeah, based on those.
Okay. Yeah. So here's what happens. He kind of in that fetal position stops moving and looks up at you like with this very quick, just a jerking motion. Almost makes your neck hurt saying it. And his eyes are wide, and you all begin to hear this moment. And this might not be the first time any of you experience this, but the sound when your ears are ringing. It starts out quietly at first, and you begin to notice that it's there, and you all begin to have that sensation of just your ears ringing, of just this pressure. And it's not the first time any of you have probably ever felt this or experienced this. However, for three of you, it's much more intense. And that ringing suddenly gets louder and louder and louder. And as it gets to the point where you almost can't hear anything, this person, I don't think you've been asked his name yet, is staring out at all of you, and he just whispers. And most of you can't hear, except for the three of you, where it is almost magnified in your ears. This like a microphone at full blast that somebody, or a speaker in full blast that somebody's whispering into towards you. And he says, "The door is open." And at that point, you feel this intense pain and pressure. And I need all of you to roll, or not all of you, but Garrett, Solomon, and Leo, to roll plus weird.
Okay.
All right.
So not Birdie.
No, you guys are feeling this. You know something's going on, but you're.
Okay.
So,
I rolled a 2, which is pretty good when you have a -2. So
I
I wasn't 0.
I rolled a 6.
and I also got a 6, so those are all misses.
Mm-hmm.
But we also all have weird highlighted, so I think we all get experience for that.
Goodbye.
Yeah, you all get experience for rolling your weird stat. I can't.
You also all die.
Yeah, I'm like,
Your
this
brain's
is Birdie's worst nightmare right now.
Uh-oh.
Nah, I love it.
It's great. Let's do this.
So So here's what happens.
What does he see?
Yeah, what does Birdie see? What does Birdie experience?
So so those of you that are there, so Birdie, is Phoenix there? I don't remember if Phoenix is there. Okay, so Birdie, you watch as your three companions that are there, as this pressure begins to dissipate and that ring goes away, you sort of shake your head, maybe tug on your ear a bit, and you look over to them, and the three of them are staring slack-jawed and wide-eyed, just like straight up at the sun. And each one of you, I think, experiences pretty much the same thing, which is you see suddenly the sky goes dark and you all look up and you see out of the inky kind of purplish black sky where the sun was before is now just this black shape. And you watch as just faintly silhouetted two black wings sort of unfurl from this husk of the sun. And you see this faint white glow framing a person with these just enormous, stretching from one end of the horizon to the other, wings. And in that moment, they don't say anything, you don't see anything more than that. The moment you feel dread, pure dread. And Birdie, you watch as the three of them essentially break down in, I mean, however you would react, you think your character would react to their worst fear, the culmination of everything evil they've ever done coming back to them, everything, the ultimate sort of sensation of loss and hopelessness is sort of what is going on now with your characters. Begin.
Oh, there's the part of me that just wants to play this off, that like this is Leopold's constant state, but I don't think that's the case. I think Leopold just kind of will fall to his knees, just kind of stare at his hand, his prosthetic hand, and just like slowly bring it up and just kind of create that feedback loop. But I think it's already mid effect, so it's not actually doing anything else. It's just kind of like he is now stuck in that until someone pulls his hand away from him.
All right. Garrett.
You got an idea, Ryan, or do you want me to go?
You go first.
All right. Garrett, who's been, again, standing in the back, almost mimicking Solomon in a lot of ways as this happens. The back of the train car is like open, right? So you get to see the water world below in the horizon.
Well, the way you're standing right now is the cliff,
mm-hmm.
the train car, and then
mm-hmm.
you guys are on this side of it. So the train car is sort of blocking.
Okay.
Yeah.
He also like falls to his knees and in a very stoic way starts to pull out these spent shotgun shells, and he places them in front of him, and he keeps whispering names. It's the same like 10 names over and over and over and over and over again.
All right. And Solomon?
I think I reached for my gun. And I kind of really, not walk over to him, more like stagger and just press the barrel against his head. And I think just breathe very belaboredly. Gosh. I'm still trying to make a decision.
Well, I'm gonna add other. Yeah, I'm gonna add one other thing to each one of the scenes that's going on in your guys' head, and then I'm gonna see what Birdie does. Because here's what happens. As you guys are having these moments too, in the dark wings ahead of you, still just in this trance state, having this experience. Leo, as you're sort of this feedback loop and this intense, you sort of go deeper into the dream state here until you find yourself laying on a table, strapped to it. You're smaller. There's a person standing over you in a white coat. And he has a very long, I guess like a syringe. And you're just watching him. I think as we see it, you're just watching as he is slowly sort of lowering the syringe down to inject it like straight into your eye. As you are kind of experiencing probably some of the most traumatic repressed memories you might have. Solomon, you look down at I'm actually going to say Garrett, as you're putting the shotgun shells down, and each one of those 10 places that you place those shells, you watch as a hand reaches out, 10 different hands, followed by 10 different faces, all staring up at you with a horrible, contorted, mutilated expression of pity and I guess just sort of just this how could you face, I can't think of a better word. And Solomon, as you press the gun against this person's head, you look down, blink for a second, and the person kneeling in front of you is your daughter. Birdie, what do you do?
Oh my gosh! Okay. So Garrett's over there. Leopold's over here. Well, first I'm gonna go to Solomon.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most pressing concern right now.
So I think when I see that, I think just stand up and kind of back off, and just act mix of confusion and horror, and I think just kind of I think he starts crying.
Oh no! Okay, well I'm gonna go over to him and like kind of put my, I don't know, like grab his arm that has the gun and like make sure it's like pointed at the floor, not pointing at anybody, like kind of diffuse that.
I think if you lay your hands on me, like I think I freak out.
Yeah,
I think I probably just flinch and maybe, like just instinctively throw like an LOL.
Yeah, I think that's definitely reasonable. I think as you place your hand on him, Solomon, you do just that. The second you do, though, light returns, and you're looking at Birdie.
Solomon, are you all right? Are you here?
This has happened before? Something like ish? Do I know what happened ish?
You might have had experiences like this before, yes. this is not an uncommon thing to happen to people in this world.
Okay. Would I think that this person brought it on, or it just happened randomly?
You don't. The only person you know that has any control over something like this is, there are maybe a couple of people, but people with psychic powers have this ability. He might. I wouldn't say anything from this circumstance would maybe lead you to think that it was this person.
I think when I look back and I see his face,
yeah,
I think I put the butt of my gun in it. I think I don't respond to Birdie. I think I just turn the gun around with the butt, just bring it across his teeth.
All right. Yeah, I don't even think you have to go aggro on that. I think that's just you're just inflicting harm on him. And you're suckering him essentially because there's nothing he can do.
Okay, just one hit, and then I'm just gonna back off. And
Solomon, Leopold needs help. I don't. And then I'm gonna go to Garrett. And kind of hesitate, and then I'm just gonna kick over his shotgun shells and like kind of push him.
All right. And Garrett, much the same way as you're looking at this and these hands are reaching out towards you and grabbing onto you, suddenly like a foot emerges through the vision and everything is sort of cast away like sand in front of you, and the light returns and you see Birdie standing over you.
Are you here?
Yeah, he's gonna take a moment to get himself out of that, look around, see in his mind like the angel herself standing there, and is kind of gonna calm him down just a little bit, and then see Solomon just sock this dude's teeth in and feel a little bit better. Yeah.
I'm gonna go over to Leopold, who he's laying down. What is he doing exactly?
I think at this point, like, he did initially fall to his knees, but has like since collapsed onto his side, but still like prosthetic very firmly on his own forehead, which you know is how he communes with how he does his thing, but normally he's upright for it.
Okay. I think I'm going to go over to you and kind of get down on a knee, put my hand, I guess, over your hand on your forehead, and say what I said the first time I found you, and just say, like, "What's your name, boy?" And just keep repeating that like, "What's your name?"
I think it takes you a little bit longer to come out of it because you're sort of doing it to yourself, Leo. But you do kind of, through this intense, like horrific living kind of waking nightmare and memory, you do hear that voice echoing, and it begins to bring you can come out of it if you want to. You realize you have control over this now.
Yep. Yeah, I think I come back, and as I do, I blink a couple times, and whichever eye it was in my vision that the syringe is going into, I think there's just like a tear of blood coming from it, because I'm imagining a little like the Matrix, like Leopold's mind makes it real. Yeah, I was actually just thinking that too. So I'm really like getting chills that you said that. Yeah, so it's just like, blinks, kind of feels it and wipes it away. My name is Leopold, and I just saw the man that did this to me.
You all right?
I will be. Because as far as I know, that man has long since been dead and buried and can no longer hurt me. And he'll just sort of get up by himself, re-straighten his suit and make sure he's all in array, look and see that Legless has already been dealt with, and just will kind of, do you need me for anything, Solomon, or he just kind of leaves it.
I think it's good for right now.
Okay, and then just wanders off.
I think
I've already left at this point.
I was going to turn to Birdie and like to the guy we're calling Legolas or whatever. You gonna be all right? You gonna
I was
live?
actually just about to go to him. So can I go to him with so much concern? Make sure he's not like choking on teeth, doesn't have his tongue cut by like getting punched in the face and biting his tongue or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Well, here's the thing that I want to ask as that's happening. Solomon, where do you think your gun is?
I think I was probably, well, let's see. Dash in the hand, hold it. Hold it. I think maybe I'm still holding it like backwards in my hand, and like I use my left hand to on Leopold. I think maybe I don't even know that I'm still holding it until like maybe after I talk to Birdie, and then I would holster it. Or if something happens in between, let me know.
Yeah.
Am I gonna get hurt again?
No. Do you have any other weapons on you, Solomon, or are you just the gun?
Me? No, it's just the pistol.
Yeah. And Birdie, do you?
I carry anesthesia with me always.
All
Anesthesia, my bedazzled bat.
No. I think what happens here then, without any other options at this point, is you look back towards Legless, since we don't really, you guys never asked his name. And
Long John Silver.
Yeah, I was gonna name him Orlando.
Even better.
Yeah, you look over towards him, and what you didn't notice before is there is a chunk missing from the sheet metal on the wall of the crate behind him. And you notice just in time, Brady, as you look towards him, as he has this jagged piece of kind of rusty sheet metal, and just sort of drags it across his own throat.
Can I act fast enough to do anything about this?
I'm going to say it sort of began before you had a chance.
So I'm watching him like gurgle out, and his trachea has already collapsed. Basically, is what's happening.
Yeah. There's not much you could do for. I mean, he was already probably going to die anyway out of from the leg injury. But yeah.
Well, Birdie,
I would like to tee off on his jaw with my bat.
Okay. Oh, and Birdie just looks at him as he's gurgling and just kind of spasming a bit, and she pulls her bat is just like Harley Quinn style, like
like golf swing, like whoosh, like knocking his jaw off or his head or whatever happens.
Yeah, and just there's this crunch and this sickening kind of splat as this spray of gore kind of explodes off of the top of this guy's head, leaving not much of a head left.
So I'm imagining Solomon looks over and he's like, Birdie, is he all right? And I just knock his head off. And then I'll just kind of knock my bat against the ground, like shake some of the blood off. And yeah, I think he's fine.
Leopold had not gotten far enough away to not see that, so he is aware of Birdie has talons.
I'm prematurely marking hex.
And I think that is a perfect place to end this scene here, as this just a crunching noise and kind of a small crowd of people are staring at this, and you have, I don't know if Garrett ever even got up or if he's still kneeling there. Yeah, we sort of come away from the scene, and you guys can figure out how you might have reacted to that. But what I want to do is kind of open it up here. Are there any scenes, and I especially want to focus on Phoenix because Phoenix hasn't gotten to do a whole lot. Is there anything that Phoenix wants to do that might involve anybody, or I have a scene in mind if there might not be something that Phoenix needs to do?
The only thing I really had in mind was making sure the truck gets fixed, but that'd be a Phoenix on his own thing mainly. So if you've got something, go for it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's We'll assume that happens.
Infirmary? Did you?
Well, actually, that's what I was gonna. I think we'll bring Phoenix on this part then, because I think the next scene I want to do is because these are two things I want to get done. We'll call this a day later. blood has been cleaned up, and there's now a drunk guy sitting in the pen. You guys might have reacted to this and had dealt with these issues on your own. Those of you that experience these visions, but I think for now, I want to say that Phoenix, you come over to Birdie's infirmary to have yourself, kind of tended to and treated. Birdie, you are back there, being the only person that didn't suffer a mind-altering vision at the pen. And I'm gonna say, Tesla, you're probably there because it's probably your shift to watch Birdie. So I'm gonna put the three of you in Birdie's infirmary, and Solomon, or not Solomon, Phoenix, you walk in. And I want to play this scene now. What do you guys do?
Well, welcome back.
I kept coming back afterwards.
Let me see those stitches.
I'd sit down, take the jacket and the shirt off, and
Does he look all right? Is everything all right? Did I do a good job? Is it so clean?
Yeah. I mean, are you even at an injury? Are you at 1 or 2 right now?
still at 1.
You're still at 1. Yeah, it's looking good. His leather and his armor sort of mostly withstood a lot of the impact. I think it was a shot to your shoulder. Withstood most of it. Most of the damage you saw was a bit of kind of shrapnel coming through the armor. It looked nastier than it really was, but it's healing. It's gonna leave probably a bitch of a scar, but yeah, it looks like it's getting better.
Do you feel any warmth, any burning? Have you felt nauseous at all? Particularly thirsty?
Nope, it's all been fine.
Well, it's a good thing for you. I'm good at my job.
Thanks for patching me up.
You're welcome. How's your car?
The car's fine. Still dying to take her out for a spin, but I'm sure Saul will want me for something in a day or two.
Well, I can write you a doctor's note if you want.
No, right now I'm not sure he'd accept that.
Well, he's not in the best shape right now either, so I don't think he's in much shape to argue. Not that I'm advising mutiny or anything. I look over at Tesla like with a little smile, like, of course I'm not.
You do notice one thing, and this kind of this is something that you're not aware of, but Birdie is, or I should say, Lindsay isn't aware of that Birdie is. Over in the corner of the room, one of the cots has been sort of quarantined off, and there's some like plastic sheeting around a cot or a bench that has a body on it that has been opened up. There's some organs on trays kind of around, kind of sitting on.
Oh, it's a cadaver. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a cadaver. That you were in the process of autopsying. I don't know the actual dissecting, I think is the best word. Dissecting felt weird, but yeah, that you've been in the process of dissecting and examining as a result of the research that Hecuba and Deed got to you, that you were able to sort of come through. But while this isn't news to Birdie, Phoenix, you do see that, and I would say that's probably something that Phoenix probably sees and maybe might have a reaction to.
Isn't your job to put people back together?
Well, this is part of that. Sorry about the mess. I mean, I was brought here for a reason, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that thing that I was brought here to do.
I guess. Got any closer to figuring it out?
You know what? Yeah, I think. MC.
And that's what I'm gonna tell you right now.
Great.
Deet and Heck did a heck of a job. Found some books that really pointed you in the right direction. What you realized in studying the virus, and not getting too much into it because I honestly don't know most of the stuff. You probably know this better than I do. the disease that's going through this area right now is a virus. It's a viral infection. You were able to determine, based on the symptoms of it and your research, is that it is in the same family as the Lissa virus, also called rabies. But this is an offshoot of it, a different strain of the virus that I don't think is actually in any books, but is in something that you were taught of in your specific studies. Is maybe something that didn't happen until after whatever event led the world to be this way, but it's referred to as paravirus. It is fatal. Its symptoms include in early stages flu-like symptoms, irritability, fever. Those stages usually last 3 to 4 weeks. Mid-stage is increased paranoia, delusions, intermittent euphoria. That stage usually lasts about a week or two. And in late stages, leads to deterioration, is part of the reason you're doing the autopsy, and you realize this, deterioration of the prefrontal cortex and swelling of the hypothalamus, leading to extreme aggression and ultimately death.
So does everybody die by like stroke, sort of a thing?
Yeah, most of the time it gets to the point where they've either due to the deterioration of the prefrontal cortex, people essentially they stop taking care of stuff, stop drinking, stop eating. Usually some sort of a stroke or other effect brought on by malnutrition. But in most cases, probably due to the the fever and other symptoms leading to some sort of shutdown of the nervous system.
Or we shoot him.
Or you shoot him.
I'm assuming I'm still working on the how to stop the thing, how to reverse the thing bit.
Oh yeah, that's you know what it is now though.
Yeah, so I know like the what and the how, but not like the stopping.
The fixing it. Yeah. I would say, like with rabies and stuff, there should be a way to vaccinate for it, but yeah, you'd have to. That's something you'd have to work on.
Okay, so like basically for now, like don't touch anybody's blood ever. Like don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just also imagining Birdie used all the complicated medical lingo as well.
Oh, absolutely. She went full Lindsay on this.
Hess, did you understand any of that?
Long story short, don't touch anybody's blood ever. Don't do that.
Oh,
But it's so delicious.
Wait, but why are you up there?
That wasn't canon, sorry.
I take a broom and start knocking Leopold out of the rafters.
Can you make sure Leopold's not up there? Broom. So yeah, don't. If they're injured people and you need to bring them to me, do everything you can to not touch their blood. If you come into contact with the blood anywhere, don't touch it. If you're killing people, try not to get their blood on you.
I can definitely try and keep all that in mind.
Yep. I'm still working on it, but that's the best advice I've got so far.
While we're all here, like, you know about the things that people are getting from Longmire?
Do I know about that? I mean, I had a guy freak out about it in my infirmary, right?
Yeah. I'd say you probably do a couple of. You have to deal with a couple of people that have.
I have to do some detox.
Do a little detox.
Good.
I've had some ODs at some point. Yeah, I mean, you're familiar with the drugs. There are a number of drugs that are sold through Longmire. It's
Yes,
sort of a
Phoenix,
place
I
where people
am
go to escape.
Well, and I think everybody at least knows Longmire's reputation.
That's true.
People just don't like to remember the after that I have to deal with. Why do you ask?
Nah, Ollie, our friend who, well, stole my fucking truck. Turns out he'd taken a visit there before all this went down.
Oh, really?
Something I might have to bring up with Saul when he's seeing people again. Haven't seen him at all today. Is he all right?
Yeah, I just saw him a couple days ago. Or yesterday. He's okay.
Fair enough. Probably got more to deal with.
Well, you could go give him a visit. If you like.
I think he'd like to know.
I'll head up there right away, then see if I can wrangle a drive out of this.
At the very least, it'll keep him from stewing.
Oh god, that's true.
He does a lot of
there. I'll head there straight away then.
Okay.
Tess, we'll head out later. You want to come with?
I'll see you later.
Fair enough. And I put my clothes back on and leave.
Okay.
Great, I shut the door behind him.
All right. You shut the door behind him.
Are we going to finally have our talk?
How long has it been since Birdie got knocked in the head?
At this point, 3 days.
3 days? Right.
3?
That seems like enough time to stew about it.
Great.
Yeah, I shut the door. If anybody else is in there, like if Hecuba or Dee are in there, I just give them a look like,
Get the bitch.
I think
No,
what
the
happens.
bitch did it.
Yeah. I think Deet is in there and kind of looks over, puts down the tray that they were holding, and begins making their way towards the door. At this point, Heck begins to walk in, and Dee's like, no. They both they both leave together and shut the door behind them. The only other person in there, you do have one patient in there that is currently unconscious.
I'm going to say, is conscious? No. Okay.
I knock him in the head with the broom. No, just kidding.
How are you feeling? Inject something. Okay, I know that look. What's going on? I sit. I pull out a stool for her.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe this is a bad time. We could talk about it later.
How long have you been thinking to do it later?
Since it happened.
Okay, so out with it.
What happened?
What do you mean?
When Solomon got shot and you got knocked in the head, I wasn't here.
Uh-huh.
What happened?
It was just like Phoenix was talking about. It was just another patient who wanted more than I was willing to give him of his medications, you know? He kind of got violent and he started going after Hecuba. But it's okay. It got handled. Everyone's okay. We're okay.
It got handled by Solomon taking a bullet in the gut. And you with a head wound and a body on the floor.
Yeah, that was less than ideal. I can't have you in here all the time, Tesla. You have other things you need to do, and it's okay. They're gonna go south sometimes.
I don't like it.
I know. It wasn't a good moment for me. I prefer to have more control of my space. I'll do better.
Birdie, it ain't you that's gotta do better.
Well, then who?
I don't know.
Because if I'd been able to handle it, then Solomon would be fine, and probably that guy wouldn't be dead. I mean, he probably would be by now. I don't know.
I don't give a
He was
shit about
pretty
that
far.
guy, Birdie.
Well, what?
I brought you here so you'd be safe. Right? I made this deal and I mean, it was half my idea to let the dogs in the place. And I swear to whatever is out there, if one of them does something to you, I brought you here to protect you, but I'm feeling like maybe I can't do that all the time.
Tesla. It was a pretty thought. Nowhere's really altogether safe out here, you know? This is safer than there, and I like it better. I'm doing good things. I gesture to the mangled corpse.
You're doing great. It's the rest of us I'm worried about.
I think we have good people here. Whether they know it themselves or not is still to be seen, but...
Listen, I'm gonna ask Solomon if I can spend a little more time down here.
Tesla, you don't have to do that.
I know.
I think... But I mean, you don't have to... Maybe you shouldn't do that. We need your eyes in the sky, as it were. Can't exactly do much sniping in a 10x10 box.
You know I've got more guns than that.
I know. But... Train Yard needs you more than I do.
Yeah, Birdie, but I need you.
Oh. I grab her hand. Well, I can't have you all to myself.
We could just... like, keep the bat closer.
I reach over and I like scoot it to like lean against the desk next to me. Yeah, I can do that.
I don't know if you would have recognized it before, Tesla, but you do notice that half of the bat is a little more red than it was before.
I tried to clean it, but there are just so many grooves.
What?
Oh. It's not a big deal. It's okay. Nothing happened.
I don't even think I want to know. Listen, just humor me, all right?
Of course. And I kind of gesture to the stained bat. I can handle myself sometimes. I lean over and I nudge her with an elbow. Thanks to you.
All right, well, get back to work, I guess. I'll be over there in the corner.
Thank you, Tesla. I do appreciate it. I just don't want you to be worrying after everybody. You've got enough on your shoulders.
I don't worry about everybody.
Well, I'll try and make it easier. And then I'll go back to dissecting and reading notes and stuff in companionable silence.
I was going to say, and scene. Actually, before, as that scene ends, Deet and Heck come back. I'd say Deet probably comes back. They don't need to both be in there. And says, or kind of pokes her head through the door. It is...
Yeah, come on in.
All right. Heck found this, and they come back in with a kind of a crate full of junk, and says, it might be able to help. Some of it looked useful, and kind of sets it on the tray on the table for you.
Is it some stuff?
Yeah, it's some stuff. It's oddments worth 1 barter.
Excellent.
Courtesy of supply drop you received from chat.
Thank you, chat.
So that will end that scene. Now, before we go to our break, we'll go and do it because I think Phoenix, you want to go up and talk to Solomon. Because I think there are a couple people that need to have I think there are a couple people that need to have conversations with Solomon right now, right? I'm assuming about like plans that you guys are going to have, like places you need to visit, things you guys need to do. Yeah, I know there was talk about Ford's Farm and stuff like that. So what I want to do is open it up, saying that maybe right at that moment, Solomon isn't able to see you, maybe still brooding in his place, in his office. So we can skip forward a day and say that you're able to meet with Solomon. If anybody else needs to be there to talk about anything going on with Longmire and Ford's Farm, wants to be a part of this kind of scene here. Speak now. Tesla, okay.
Wait,
Anybody
so
else?
what's the question about? Who wants to see Solomon now?
Seeing at Solomon's office. I know Phoenix wants to talk about some stuff with Solomon. Tessa wants to talk about some stuff with Solomon. Does anybody else want to?
Before Tessa leaves, I'd remind her to make sure that the boric acid salts get Ford.
Leopold still has them.
I just want everyone to remember.
That's part
After
of what
certain events that might have screwed with your brain holes, I want you to remember.
I'll make sure.
That's on the agenda.
So, town hall meeting. Who else wants to be there? Okay, so Leo, Garrett, and Birdie are keeping out of this one. All right, so 4 of you in the office. Solomon, I think you probably have had like maybe a sign-up sheet outside of your office of people trying to speak with you.
Solomon's office hours are between the hours.
Actually, I'll ask.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was going to say, I'm just going to write my name on really big letters in Motroil on the sheet.
I'll actually, because I said a day, which would be 2 days after the events at the holding cell. But that's up to Solomon. How long do you think he probably stays to himself?
Probably not too long. I think he the distraction of work is good.
Okay. So we'll say maybe you were busy, maybe not trying to keep to yourself, but just didn't have the time to deal with what was going on with Phoenix and stuff at that point. Okay. I don't want to make a bunch of character choices for you guys, just smaller ones. So you guys meet up maybe later that same day or the next day.
Hold on. 15-second pause. Sorry, my dog's crying, and I will not be able to focus very well.
Let's just. You guys want to go to break then, and we'll start off with this scene.
That's probably better for me.
All right,
sorry.
Let's go and do that because I was pushing either way. I was kind of flipping a coin, and saying, "Oh, we'll just do break a little bit later." So let's go and do break now, so we can deal with animals
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he needs to.
All right. So awesome. We will be right back, everyone. So 10 minutes. Cool. All right. Be back in 10 minutes. Thank you, guys. That was a very short countdown. Welcome back, everyone. That's the end of our break. Sorry for taking so long. But we have been summoned. So let's get back into it.
Can I just
Yes.
say that I did a thing that I forgot to say?
Sure.
in the end of the last scene.
Sure.
I think Tesla cleans her stuff when she is stressed, like her guns and stuff. And so that I think for the rest of the time that I sat there in like incredibly awkward, or what I perceived as very awkward,
And Birdie was like, "This is fine."
silence. Yeah, I think Tesla thought it was super awkward. I think I just sat there in the corner and like cleaned all of my guns. But then also, if Birdie wasn't paying attention, I would also clean her bat and just kind of like leave it propped up somewhere.
I probably wasn't paying attention. My bad. Like eventually, I went back to the cadaver, and all of my attention was required.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just, when she wasn't like paying attention, I just like pretended like it was one of my guns and just like cleaned it professionally and
Very
just
cute.
left it leaning.
Okay. So
Cause that's nasty.
let's go ahead and move on to do this scene then. Because this is, I think, important for the sake of you guys finally getting to do some stuff we've been trying to do for a couple sessions. So let's go and say Solomon's office, Tesla, Phoenix, Leo. You all have sort of barged your way through the door at separate times. I guess you guys.
No, I knock.
Yeah. I'm assuming probably it starts off Leo and Solomon kind of in there. I assume, Leo, you kind of spend a lot of your time at Solomon's office, maybe?
Decent amount.
Yeah. Feel free to interrupt me and tell me if I'm wrong and making assumptions, by the way. And then maybe Tesla's nearby. You and Phoenix kind of headed up at the same time, sort of catch each other and knock. So Solomon, there's a collective knock at your office.
We all knock at the same time.
Yeah, there's 3 doors and everybody's knocking.
So Leopold was probably in there giving his just like daily intelligence report of just wandering around, picking up stray thoughts, that sort of thing.
They're
Creepy.
gossiping about me.
So, Susan is jealous of Nathaniel.
I mean, there is probably
What?
that level of tedium a lot of the time.
Yeah. Hold that thought, Leo. Come on in.
I'll poke my head in the door. Boss, you busy?
Come on in.
I got Phoenix too.
All right. Welcome.
Okay, I'll walk in.
Come on, the more the merrier.
Yeah, sometimes. What can I do for you?
Chat, work out what the hell's going on next.
Yeah, honestly, boss, I'm here for orders. There were some orders given that, well, I think plans have changed over the past few days, so I need to know where you need me. And I think Phoenix has some stuff to talk to you about.
What you got?
Longmire, where people are getting their drugs and whatever's screwing with their heads.
I know of it.
Have a feeling that that's where Ollie might have run into the Black Dogs.
Where'd you get that idea?
Bartender down at the end of the line. He told me Ollie went there, and it's as good a place to look as any.
Yeah, I expect so. Good work, Phoenix. Have you been there before?
I've stopped there a couple of times, rough night's sleep, that about it. Never really done anything recreational.
You got any contacts there? Anyone you trust?
Could find someone quick enough. Some people have heard of what I've done, some haven't.
Sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes that's a bad thing, I expect.
It may bite me in the ass, but I can hop on my bike and head over there at some point. Maybe while I'm there, see if I can get anything that may help Birdie with her detoxes or whatever.
Sounds good. You need anyone to come with you? You need any help?
I'd rather keep it low if possible. If I'm going just myself, it's not a show of force kind of thing. Pretty sure most of a lot of the people you've got to be able to come with me are pretty well known as well. Maybe Leo would be all right.
Yeah. I might need Leo for something else, but he might be better suited for what you're talking about. Let me weigh these options. Can I? What was the when you were at Ford's, Phoenix? Feel free to chime in here. Where do you think where do you think Ford might have been approached by the Black Dogs? They meet him at his ranch?
Sounded like that from the way he described it, the encounter.
That was my impression.
I'll give you a little bit of. I'll give you some insight there too. Ford and his people typically don't leave their farm. They're very much. They keep to their own.
Okay.
Even the Black Dogs need to get food at some point, and it's the best place around, let's be real.
Longmire? Or what are you saying, Longmire or Ford's place? Ford's Farm. Yeah. That's a good point. We're kind of running low on stores. All right. Well, Leopold, what you think?
Well, I do think, and I'll pull out the boric salts that I've now had on my person for what, like 5 days nearly?
Like a week.
I've lost track of how much we're jumping around, but this is something that Verdi suggested we give to Ford. It'll ease what ails him, and it may. We do need to go back to visit to get a little more information. Confirm it's the Black Dogs. See what else is up, but also now that we are a bit lower on food, maybe see about hurrying up our supply schedule or getting an advancement, something along those lines. I'm sure I actually know the details of how that arrangement works.
Well, here's my big questions. Number one, doesn't sound like the Ford's Farm is the only place that got hit or hit up for help. I want to know how far this spreads. If you can, I want to know where they come from. If you can, but what will be best if I want to know what they were offered. Whatever these Black Dogs are offering, that'll help us find them. Because we burn their hull to the ground. I don't know what stores they might have, what reserves they might have, or if they came across something new. But we learn what that is, that'll help us track them down. So I want to know what they were offering. Wasn't quite enough for Ford to turn on us, so. But
certainly, I can certainly ask. I would hope that these salts are enough of a gift to get us that information.
I hope so.
I know you are loath for me to use my talents on Ford, and that is something that, as much as I would like to see what makes him tick, I do. That is a relationship that is not quite worth that fun.
In my experience, people will do a lot of things for people who can ease their pain.
Ford said we've already been good to him as well.
Yeah.
Keep that relationship up, might keep us in his good books.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm not, especially with where our food situation is right now, I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds us. You know what I'm saying? Not right now, anyway. All right. So you can go to Ford's Farm, Phoenix. You can head up to Longmire. If you want, we can send some backup if you want. If you want to go alone, I understand. Just make sure you get back.
I'll take my bag. Small, quick, still loud, but shouldn't attract too much attention.
Sounds good. Oh, MC, can I use some of my surplus barter to give Phoenix something that he can buy information, just like some good that he could bring with him, so he has more options in information gathering.
Yeah. This is something for going to Longmire, sort of a peace offering there. He's going to Longmire, or is he going to Ford's?
He's going to go to Longmire.
Yeah, I'm going to Longmire.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll say, in the bit of surplus you've had, and the bit of good times that you guys have had, bringing in some more supplies, going through some of the shipment that came in earlier in the week, you found a couple of good things. One of them is a very nice, unbroken bottle of, probably at this point, well, what says 12-year-old Scotch. It's probably a little older than that at some point, but it's very rare that you come across unbroken bottles of sealed alcohol in this day and age. So you can decide if that's something you'd want to give to sweeten the pot here a bit. We'll say you found a couple of bottles of it.
Okay, good.
I can see us all face. He's like, I want that though.
Yeah, let's say you found like a small cake.
But I saw the face of my daughter. So
I'm gonna say you found like a case of it.
Okay.
Most of them were broken. 3 of them survived.
Okay. I'll give Phoenix a bottle.
Yeah.
I'll say, maybe this will help you open some doors. I don't know. I don't know what it's like over there exactly, but it seems like this might be up their alley.
See what I can do.
And Tesla, what you thinking of everything that's gone on? Anything that's come up in your mind?
I'm thinking this place needs about 10 more of me.
Yeah, I'm working on something for that. I'd like you to be a bit more autonomous than you are right now.
I don't know, Saul. Right now, I'd say low on supplies myself. I'm out of everything I need. So you got somewhere for me to be, put me there, but we're hurting.
Well, I think we'll see if Leopold can convince Ford to give us an advance on our next shipment, but maybe if you're willing, you and the dogs need to go out on a run. Not the dogs. Forgot your name. The demons. The other D.
Either works.
All depends on who you talk to.
Does that sound terrible?
Well, yeah. But it sounds necessary. And, I gotta keep my gun shooting straight. So.
Yeah. Well. All right. Well, I say we move forward in that. And can I retro thing and like have sent for Garrett at a point, because I do have something that this would be pertinent to.
I'll go get him.
I am. Thank you, Tesla. I appreciate that.
Okay. Say some time passes. You go get.
I go get him.
Yeah, and there's another knock on your door about probably 20 or 30 minutes later. Assuming Garrett comes, unless Garrett's just like, fuck that, I'm not
You
coming.
want to find out? I go knock on Garrett's door. I just knock on everyone's door. Just go down the line.
Do you knock on the door? Oh well, you said it like you were joking for a minute.
I don't know. Is this D&D rules? Do I just go do stuff?
You can just do it. You don't have.
I go get him. I'll go get him.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I go get him. I knock on whatever his shitty door is.
Door opens.
You busy?
Kinda, but What?
Too bad. Solomon wants to see you.
What's it about?
I don't know. Now.
Give me 5 minutes, I'll be there.
I said now.
And I told you I'd give me 5 minutes and I'll be there.
Solomon don't have 5 minutes, and neither do I. Get your ass up to the office.
This sounds to me like she's going aggro. I don't know how you're. Yeah, we're gonna say this is going aggro for Tesla.
My sheet, where is it? Oh gosh, so many. That would be 14.
Well, shit.
Whoa!
That's a 6 out of 5.
So, Garrett, you have the choice to cave and do what she wants, or to force her hand and suck it up. Seeing Tesla in front of you, I assume, Tesla, you've got all your weapons on you and stuff
Yes.
as well. So there may be some penalties and stuff going on if you force her hand, but that is your choice right now. What does Garrett do?
After everything that has happened over the past, 2 days?
Yeah, or so.
He's not in front of his group, so all right, leave the way.
You first, princess, and I shove him. Not hard, but I shove him. I make him go first.
And I feel uncomfortable here. Okay, let's.
Is it the eyebrows? It's usually the eyebrows.
Yeah, man, he's just got tense. Okay, you make your way back up to the office, and I'm gonna assume, since you're expecting them, there's not a knock at the door this time. Door opens.
Oh, after all of that, Garrett would just walk in.
Yeah.
He already wants to see him. Why the hell am I gonna not?
Yeah.
Garrett, thank you for seeing me. Have something I need you and your men to do.
Like what?
I need to find out how far this black dog thing spreads. I need you to send a couple of people out in every direction. I want to check out the surrounding homesteads. I think just recon. I don't know if any one of them has already been turned against us, so I don't want anyone sticking their nose in anything too deep that they can't get out of. I just want to know what's out there. I want to see how far this thing spreads. It's not worth losing more men over this, or it's not worth losing more people. We need everyone we got, but I'm not asking for anyone to go putting themselves in any ambushes or nothing. We just need to see how many people these black dogs have talked to, and we got to know who our enemies are.
Well, we're in the same mindset. They've been grounded for a few days now, and they're chomping at the bit to get out, so I was going to run them anyway. So while we're doing what we do, I'll make sure that we take a look around.
Yeah. Doing what you do is also important right now. I think you know. Also, no, actually, yep. So we need to get this on the road. We need to get moving.
I was about to head out in 10 minutes or so anyway, so I'll gather them up and we'll figure out where this bastard is.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Just know I'm taking them all, so I don't know if Tesla is going to stay or whatever, but you'll be down a good amount of people. So make sure the walls do what they do as well.
I know what I'm doing, Garrett.
See, you say that. If what happened in Birdie's infirmary didn't happen, I'd have probably had a snarky comeback, but...
I clear my throat really, really loudly.
And Leopold is just kind of that coin trick people do, except with like a full knife, and it's just like playing that over his prosthetic.
As Leopold and Tesla remind Garrett that he's outnumbered.
He's always outnumbered, that's the whole point. A few days ago, I would have come back with a snarky comeback, but you took care of yourself how a leader should, so I'm not worried about it.
Frankly, Garrett, I don't give a shit whether you're worried or not.
Good. Makes you a good leader.
And then I reach under the desk and I pull out 5 shot glasses. And then I crack open one of those bottles and I pour Phoenix, Leopold, Garrett, Tesla, and myself. Just just a shot, little shot. And I, offer it to everybody. Unless anybody has in the past made it very clear that they don't drink or something like that.
Yes, Garrett doesn't drink at all. I think the first thing we saw was Garrett and Phoenix drinking together.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, and just do what I say. Things will go well.
Yeah, that's the them. And he walks out.
That's funny because I'm leaning against the door.
Wait, so you don't have the shot?
No, I do. I drink it, and he's like, and then he does the whole, do what I say thing. And he's like, yeah, all right, that's for them. And he turns and goes to walk out.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
All right.
Unless someone's
Tesla, are you?
Yeah.
I stand there.
Did you take your shot at the door, or is
Yes.
your shot still on the table?
Yeah.
Nope.
Same. It's all right, Tesla. He's got work to do. So do we all.
Watch yourself out there, dog. And I'll step aside.
Well, I do best, as you, of all people here, should know. And he brushes past her.
As he's leaving, just have a nice drive, Garrett the Iron Demon.
Let's see.
I didn't see your hand, but I was picturing you like.
Well, actually, if Leopold said it, he'd probably be like, you too, bud.
Okay.
Because he likes Leo. Out of all
Yeah.
of them, he probably likes Leo the most for some weird reason.
I know. He's weird, but he's
Everybody
cool.
loves Leo.
Everybody?
Except for me.
So you all have your.
I shut
you
the
have your
door behind him.
Is there more of the scene that you guys need to work out?
No, I just shut the door behind him and have a really
Okay.
cranky look on my face.
No, I think just at some point now that all of Garrett's crew or I guess you had some people die, so maybe there's still a bike available for Leopold to take.
I also got a decent library garage, but yeah, he's got.
It's
a
just a
bike
question of figuring out the logistics of how Leopold is getting to Ford's farm, but that's small potatoes.
Ah, yes, the car library.
You all take your
That's
shot.
such a nerd thing for me to say. Oh, where do you park your car? In the car library. Of course I do.
Yes, we don't call it a garage here at the trade yard. We call it the car library.
The library.
It's like, what am I? I'm not from
We're going
England.
in the library.
It's not a library.
What is happening?
It's like a parking garage uses the Dewey Decimal System that you have to find your car.
And there's one guy that is always down there that's like, oh, I remember where you parked. Hold on.
Well, mine's a restored Model T, so it'll be the historical section.
Someone's drawn in my car.
But is it part of the canon?
All right, we're moving on from this.
But why?
Oh, we could just do this for the rest of the session.
New campaign. It's
right.
about car library.
Doing the wrong game. All right, so we've got Leo's going to Ford's on his own. Okay. And then we've got Phoenix going to Longmire on his own. Garrett and his... You guys are essentially running a gig right now for Solomon. And Tesla, you are...
I still don't know.
Well, I mean, if we can do it, we can do it as vague as Solomon gives you something to do around the hold, and unless you have something in mind.
What about that kid dude? You gonna follow up on that kid dude?
What kid, dude?
The dude with the supplies.
Oh yeah, that dude. Yes. You wanna shake that guy down and just like have fun with that?
Does that count as a gig? I'm out of barter.
I've got
I need stuff.
I've got 2 more barter that I can.
Why am I so rich?
MC,
Why
when I shake that guy down, if I steal all his stuff, does it count as barter?
It sure counts as making an enemy.
No, because that's already Solomon's barter, or that's already Solomon's stuff. But you can shake him down to get information, and Solomon can give you a barter for that.
Okay, I'll do that.
I want to know if, as much as possible, just how many people are just like letting things get stolen and not telling me, like why they think they can't tell me, or why they think that they don't have to tell me, or they're gonna get in trouble, like serious trouble. And I'll let you be creative and decide what that trouble is.
Okay.
I'm not particular.
I am.
All right, so Garrett running a mission. So God, we're splitting the party like 5 ways. No, this is awesome.
Well, last time you were like, you guys are all in the same place.
I know, and now I got exactly the opposite of that. All right, so we got a couple of things to do. We'll get through this as quickly as we can. So, and you're giving Garrett a barter for the job he's running as well. I don't know how many barter you have to give each session, Solomon.
You muted yourself.
Sorry, what?
I said, how many barter are you giving? Are you giving Garrett a barter too for the?
I gave Garrett 1 of my 3 barter.
One of the 3. Okay.
Wait, Garrett or Phoenix?
Sorry, Phoenix. Sorry.
Phoenix 1.
Do you want a barter? Do you need a barter, Garrett?
Well, out of character, Garrett is out of barter, and that's what he was running. That's why he was leaving to begin with.
Yeah.
He didn't tell you that he was about to go do whatever he was about to do. He just said that he was leaving to go run the dogs.
Sure.
So I guess my question as the MC here is, does Solomon offer or does Garrett ask?
I think Solomon would offer, just because like I need this to work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I guess it's up to Garrett at that point, and we can assume this happens maybe after or something, but
Oh, actually, one question before I'm like being like barter. Does this restock every session, or is this like a fixed number?
No, you finish or you get barter back as long as you roll well enough, and you also don't need barter because everything is taken care of for you.
Okay.
As long as you're hold master.
However long that'll be.
But you don't need to spend the barter, and I don't know if you've been spending barter at the beginning of the sessions for.
I haven't done anything with it until this session.
Yeah, I think you restock if you roll well enough at the beginning of the sessions and stuff. I'll go over your rules and stuff again, but yeah, you essentially have barter to work with our session because you are the quest giver. You're the World of Warcraft guy that's standing at the corners being like, "Hey, go do this." Yeah.
He's got the exclamation mark above his head at all times.
Yeah.
So I go to Dad and say, "Can I have my allowance?"
It's weird how no one's noticed it.
Yeah.
All right. So then, yeah, I'll offer Garrett's crew something that if he thinks he needs it, and then I'll offer Tesla like equipment if she thinks she needs it for this project.
Okay. So here's a couple of I guess we'll go through these scenes as we can, or as many as we can. We might not get to all of them. I think Tesla's will be the fastest. So we'll go ahead and do that one. Tesla, you go back over to Kit. How do you approach Kit?
Super casually, like weapons holstered. I've got my my infinite knife belt that I think I don't always wear. I have infinite knives, in case you guys are concerned, but I think I like don't always like wear it prominently because I'm usually doing guns, and so the closer range I'm gonna be. But so I have this big like, it's like the big ammo belts like slung across, but it's just knives. But I approach him like very casually, like a cowboy. Just like, hey Kit, how's it going? And just to gauge his reaction.
All right. He quickly starts floundering and is kind of like, hey, Tess. Back so soon? Do you need something? Does Saul need something? What do you want?
Matter of fact, he does.
All right.
Why don't we have a seat? Have a drink. You got something to drink?
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, let's have a seat.
Okay. Just sits down right where he's standing.
All right. Well, let's get down to brass tacks then. Solomon is I'm sorry, do you have something you want to say?
Not me, not him, me. Actually,
I know.
I'm gonna have you read it before. I'm gonna have you roll to read a person before, and then you can spend your hold during the conversation.
What is that?
So you're gonna roll plus sharp. Yeah.
Sharp.
You're welcome.
I rolled an 11.
Well, shit. Okay.
Yes.
So you have hold.
Experience.
Yes, don't forget that. You do have 3 hold to spend during the conversation to kind of gauge some more stuff here. It's
I don't
under
know
read
what
first.
that
Look under your moves index, under basic moves.
I did the same thing like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
This was me. I was like, what?
Okay, and I have 3.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
you can proceed with this, and you can, with your RP here, and you can spend those during the conversation. So.
Great. All right, well, I like crack my neck like really loudly. Crack. Solomon is a little concerned. Some of the things he's been hearing, some of the things that are kind of coming around. And so he sent me to ask you. How funny is that, right? We were just talking about this the other day.
Yeah, Tess. I mean, I feel I told you everything I knew.
Did you, Kit?
I swear, I.
What do you swear on?
I swear on I swear on my life, Tess.
No offense, Kit, but if you keep lying to me, you ain't gonna have much one left to swear with.
I don't know what you're asking me. I really want to help. I don't know how they got those supplies. I don't know why they weren't brought right away. I honestly, I feel bad about it because it was my responsibility. I admit that. I'm human. I make mistakes. But I don't know how that happened.
Somebody does. I think you know who that somebody might be.
I don't. I really don't.
Alright, Kit, listen. I'm gonna be straight with you. Even though you refuse to be straight with me. Now listen, you've known me a long time. You know I take my job very seriously. I take my work very seriously here. And I care about the people here, and unfortunately, if you're putting them in danger, you're gonna have to go.
No, Tess, I promise. I've told you
Hey,
everything.
it's not my decision. I follow orders from upstairs. I need names. I need information. I need you to tell me everything you think you maybe might know about the supplies, about who might be trying to steal them, about all this gossip that you were telling me is going on, people unhappy with Solomon, people unhappy with our guests. And I need you to be 110% honest with me, or tell you what, me and my friends here, and I pat my knives so they jingle, are gonna have a bit of a harder conversation with you. Maybe your fingernails, maybe even one of your eyeballs. You got 2 of them, Kit.
All right, I'll have you roll aggro on this too.
I rolled a 10.
You are just.
I can't lose.
Yeah, girl. Don't say that.
I can lose.
Karma, like we failed 3 times the
I
very
know.
first roll, so
Yeah.
this is coming back around.
Let's make it up for it.
All right, he's not going to force your hand. God, he's not going to force your hand. But he says, "Listen, Tess, I am being straight with you here about I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with Ollie. I don't know why Ollie did what he did. But you're right. Okay. A couple weeks ago, my key went missing. Now, I have it back. You can see it. I have it back, but it was gone for like a few hours. Couldn't find it. I always keep it in the same place. But I went to check. Wasn't there. I looked for it for a while. Went and had a few drinks, assuming that I probably wasn't going to be here anymore the next day. But the next time I looked for it, after I woke up that morning with a bitch of a hangover, there it was. I didn't want to say anything about it because I was worried we were going to be having a conversation much like this if I did. But I don't know if I just missed it or if somebody took it. All I know is they need more than my key to open that door.
All right. Anybody got it out for you? Anybody looking to make you look bad?
No. I shoot pretty straight. Everyone around here. I mean, lately there have been some people that are giving me a hard time because they don't have enough food. They know that there is food in the shed.
Anybody in particular?
No.
Anybody
And this was
come back more than once?
No. This happened before food got scarce anyway. But I do know that Ollie was looking for medicine for his kid. He came to me once, asking if I had anything. But Ollie didn't know where I kept that key.
Can I use some of my hold?
Yeah, go for it.
I want to know. Ugh. They're just so straightforward. I want to know, is your character telling the truth? That's one of them.
Yes, he is. Definitely.
This is so hard. I want to know. I don't know. You tell me if this doesn't work, or if this is not how the question is intended to be used. But there's a how could I get your character to blank? I don't know if there's something I could do to get Kit to remember any details he might have missed in his retelling. Like an important face or something that he's been purposefully leaving out for a long time.
Yeah, I think you get he's very pressured right now. Extremely stressed and is trying to give you the answers you want. I think you're gathering here, if you back off a bit, he might calm down, maybe remember a few more details.
Okay. Is he still sitting down?
Yeah, he's still sitting.
Is he like just sitting on the ground like?
Yeah,
Aw.
like a child.
Kit?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna I'll take like a step back and like sit down, like cross-legged. Across from.
Okay.
Kid, listen. You know I like you. You know Solomon likes you, and you know you're an asset to us. And you know ain't nothing gonna happen to you if I don't want it to. You gotta give me something. Man. Things are going missing. Food is going missing. You and me starve just like the rest. I gotta have something to take back.
I don't really have much more, Tess. I don't know if it's related, but there have been rumors going around, especially now that food's scarce. People fight, and you know how it is. Some people are talking about leaving. There have been some people that have come to the hold, left talking to people, telling them that there's a reckoning coming, that this place isn't safe. I don't know who. I don't know the name of this person, but most of the people says they talked to someone named Elijah.
You know anybody that's talked to Elijah?
No. Nobody would admit it they did.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. I really am. I feel like I screwed up a lot. I understand if Saul wants me gone. I'll get my keys and I'll go.
I think you'll be alright.
Alright.
Listen, next time something happens, you come to one of us. Nobody's gonna fault you for trying to help keep this place safe, Kit.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Tess.
Here's my last hold before I leave.
Sure.
I want to know what Kit intends to do after this conversation.
Be a lot fucking better at his job. No, I mean, you get the impression that he is probably going to rethink where he keeps his secret stash and probably try to be a little better at what he does and make sure this doesn't happen again.
But he's gonna stay.
He wants to stay, yeah.
Okay, good. I give
All
him
right.
like a pat on the shoulder and then help him up off the ground. Be nice to him.
So you return to, I guess, we'll say you give that information to Solomon. If you guys want to play that out later, we'll do that. But for now, I'm going to move to do the other thing I want to do, which is going to be, we're going to do Phoenix's scene. Phoenix, which car are you taking?
Taking my bike.
Taking your bike. All right. So
And
you say you've been...
Just quickly, I can actually say this because I actually know it. The bike itself is a Vincent Black Shadow.
All right. I don't know bikes. So
You're an amazing person, and I love you for that.
but I assume that's a cool fucking bike.
Just Google it after we're done.
Yeah, I'll check it out after. Can't spring this thing on me, man. I could do an awesome description for it. We'll do it next time, though. So you head out, taking your gear and traveling light, taking that bottle of scotch. I assume you're not opening it, but that's your call.
I'm not opening it for now. I'm sure I could share a drink later with someone with loose lips.
Yeah. So you head out, and you say you've been to Longmire before, so that actually makes things a bit easier. So you have a decent understanding of the place as you kind of skip through the travel here. It's not that far. Probably only takes you a couple hours to go over there, but for the sake of cinematic of this is that you arrive just at about evening time at sunset, and Longmire is a beautiful town. I'd liken it. It's almost, it's like old time Western saloon. It's probably one of those places that used to have one of those like reenactments, like probably some backwoods, middle nowhere old saloon town that they've restored and remade into a beautiful sort of again, one of those places where they do those old Western reenactments. But obviously cut to however long in the future, destroyed, been rebuilt with neon signs. You can hear the smoke of some generators running to propel these and to keep these signs going. But it's sort of old time saloon mixed with Las Vegas is sort of the aesthetic that you get here. And there is a big sign over the road that leads into town, with in big scrolling neon letters that reads Longmire. It's kind of a little bit askew, but for all intents and purposes, it is a very beautiful sight approaching it. And you hear the rambunctious sort of atmosphere of the city as you approach. You hear music going, and you hear people yelling and laughing and cheering, and this sort of, again, very kind of Las Vegas atmosphere. Now you know the place to go in Longmire, where everybody visits when they come into town, is the Ivory Apple, which is one of the larger buildings at the center of the sort of community. It's a 3-story brick building. It's one of the only brick buildings in the vicinity, and it is the loudest and the brightest out of all the structures that are in this small community. So you go sort of roaring up on your bike, shut off outside, probably with a couple of other bikes there. Not many people have transportation, but there are a couple of other people or noticeable bikes outside there. And you approach. So I guess how does Phoenix sort of walk into this place? And I'm going to get some of the music going here for my club music.
Vincent, I'm mixing up my character's name with the name of the bike now. I'm doing well. Phoenix just struts in, like, he's got nothing to fear here. Like, he's traveled a bit, he's been here before, and his approach was definitely noticeable. Like, that bike is loud. Yeah,
so you just go kind of ripping up. Some people that are on like the balconies up top, looking over, and most people up top, you get you kind of tell the difference between the patrons and the people that are there as employees. I mean, definitely this Longmire makes its living enticing people and giving them the things that they can't get anywhere else in the apocalyptic setting. Drinks, drugs, and sex. I mean, there is you see escorts and some of the men and women who are kind of leaning over the balcony in your direction. The patrons that are up there with them, kind of intermingling, all kind of staring down at you. Some hooting and hollering and kind of like throwing some drinks over the side as you approach, calling you to come up. But you know your way around, and you kind of make your way inside to the interior of this building, which is dark, not very well lit. There are a couple of strobe lights going off in the distance. This is probably more electricity than on the entire island is generated and happens here. And you kind of scan the bar. I'll give you one other piece of information that you would know, is that the person in charge of Longmire, if you want any information, if you want to go to the person in charge, you can go to anybody else you want to. If you're looking for get some information from down low, but you know the matron of Longmire is Twist, is an older woman by the name of Twist. So continue.
I'm heading straight to the top.
Okay. You make your way, kind of pushing through the crowd that's intermingling here. A bunch of people kind of swaying back and forth, kind of almost knocking into you, but you kind of calmly make your way through the crowd over to the stairs that lead up to the next level. And you're fine leading up and going up to the second floor. Nobody stops you. There isn't any sort of... mainly, they just make sure you look clean. You don't have a bunch of weapons and guns on you. You don't look like you're going to make trouble. Which you can have weapons on you just as long as you don't look like Tesla. You make your way up to the second level, and there is kind of a different atmosphere here. The music's a little calmer. Some people here kind of lounging on softer kind of pillows and cushions and lounge chairs around the place. some of them kind of walk up to you and approach, but you kind of keep moving over, making your way through the crowd up to the next set of stairs to lead the third level. Here, there is a very large woman here, very broad-shouldered, probably 3 times your size, with as much muscle as you've seen Cask, probably equal size to Cask, and sort of steps in front of you as you approach. She looks down. She says, "You're going the wrong way."
I know exactly where I'm going. Tell Twisted's Phoenix. She's probably heard of me. And I want to use my reputation feature here.
All right. Tell me, I don't remember what that does.
Scroll up, get the description. When you meet someone important, you'll roll plus call. On a hit, they've heard of you, and you say what they've heard. The MC doesn't respond accordingly. On a 10 plus, I take +1 forward for dealing with them as well. On a miss, they've heard of you, but the MC decides what they've heard.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll plus cool.
Seven.
Okay, and what is the partial success again?
Gotta find the thing now.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Should have had you roll and then tell you what it did. Yeah.
I think I still succeed. I just don't get the +1 forward in dealing with them. So I think that's like they've heard of me, but they're not too impressed.
Gotcha. Okay, so I think here's what happens. She kind of, her arms still crossed, and she's looking down at you over her nose, and she says, "Phoenix, huh?
Yep.
I thought you'd be taller." All right, stay close. And she turns, snaps over to one of the other kind of bouncers in the corner and motions for them to take her spot. And she leads you up the stairs, which wind up to the 3rd floor, which is even quieter than the last one. Kind of some lounge music going on here. You can still hear kind of the thumping of the bass from the bottom 2 floors. So there's a sort of like discordant melody going on up here between the two. However, there are a couple of people around, maybe 8 or so, on very comfortable chairs. Some that are over in the corner with what looks to be like essentially what we'd look at like as a hookah in front of them, smoking something that is probably not tobacco. And from across the room in kind of the darkest corner of it, at the very back wall, there is one person sitting over there on sort of a large red something between a cushion and a chair. And this person, this woman leads you across the room, and she stops about 10 feet away and says, "Ma'am, Phoenix says I had to see you." And you see kind of leaning forward, and you get the sort of reveal of the darkened shape as they lean forward into the light. Their face and features revealed. You see a middle-aged woman, dark skin, black hair, braided into a bunch of different braids with these little like gold pieces and like kind of bits of jewelry kind of braided into them. She leans forward, and they kind of dangle and kind of whip down in front of her face. She has a bunch of kind of rusted, kind of tarnished looking gold jewelry across her hands and arms as well. And she smiles towards you, revealing some kind of, her teeth are a bit nasty and kind of browned, and her gums are a bit receded, sort of off-putting to her other appearance and the beauty of this place. And she says, "Phoenix. Huh. I have heard of you."
At this
You
point,
can meet us.
what she knows me for. Because I still succeed, so I decide that I just don't get the +1 forward, I believe.
Yeah, what is she? What does she know for?
I am going to say that there is this location somewhere on Dakota that's just known as the Jump, which is where all the stupid suicidal daredevils go to test their metal, driving over it and normally crashing in a fireball. And Phoenix is one of the few people to make that jump.
She motions for the bouncer to leave and kind of motions for you to sit in the same gesture. And she says, I've heard that you're either one of the luckiest or dumbest people on this island.
You know, somehow I get that a lot.
What brings you to Longmire?
A chance to have a chat, maybe a drink, and I pull out the bottle of the bourbon. I believe you said it was bourbon?
Scotch, but yeah,
Scotch.
I didn't really specify what it was other than Scotch. But she kind of looks at that, looks at you and says, that's nice. Did Saul give that to you? How is the old man?
He's getting by. Sometimes I think maybe old age gets to him a bit, but he's still got things on lock.
Interesting. That's not what I've heard.
What have you heard?
No, let's open the drink first. And she takes the she motions. Actually, she doesn't take it. She motions to a server across the room. This younger man, probably like early 20s, maybe 18, comes over, is very young, kind of mousy looking, comes over, very quickly takes the bottle, brings over a few glasses on a tray and puts them down, begins to pour them, and takes the bottle back. It just sort of stands there with the bottle of scotch, just waiting as Twist takes the drink, kind of swirls it a bit, and takes a slow sip. Just this long, drawn-out power play here before she answers your question. And she says, well, I've heard that the train yard had a bit of trouble the other day.
News gets around fast.
I have my sources. People like to come here and talk. Get away from the squalor and the filth over at the yard.
I'm sure a lot of people like to talk, sometimes about what they may get their hands on, about their troubles at home, and may find someone who'll help them.
Well, are you coming here to offer me help then?
I was more hoping you could help with some inquiries I've had.
That's interesting that you would come here to ask us for help. I know that the old timer has looked down his nose at us and what we do here for some time now.
He does what he does. I prefer to do what I do, which sometimes means going for a drive, having a nice drink with a pretty lady.
She smiles at that. That almost seemed like seducing or manipulating to me. I'm gonna let you roll for that. Maybe give you a second chance of maybe making a better impression there. So I'm gonna have you make a seduce or manipulate check.
Roll hot.
Yeah, roll hot.
That's a 5.
Yeah, doesn't exactly come out the way you want. She takes a drink and laughs at that for probably too long. And she says, well, I can see why he sent you and not the whoever it is that carries around half the arsenal of the train yard with her. Tesla, as I think the name.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine her trying to be as charming as you. I'm afraid that I'm not really in a position to help Solomon right now. You see, I have new friends who appreciate the slice of heaven we have here.
I mean, I'm very appreciative of it myself. Stopped here a few times before. Had some pleasurable company, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, then you're welcome to stay, along with any others from the train yard that would like to do the same, to abandon a sinking ship before it's too late. Perhaps you'd like to be introduced to a friend of mine. She looks across the room and gives a wave, and you hear some heavy footsteps coming up behind you. And walking kind of around the table is a very tall, muscular but not broad, kind of a more slender build man with kind of short hair in cornrows down the back and also sort of braided. He has a few scars across his face, very dark skinned and piercing blue eyes. And he sits down across from you, and she mentions and she says, Phoenix, this is my good friend Elijah Phoenix. The man.
To meet you. And I shake his hand.
He shakes your hand. He says, "It's nice to meet you too." Got 13 minutes left. I think we're gonna go ahead and finish this conversation next time, because we got to do the hex thing and do some other stuff, and I want to end on time today. So we'll pick up next time to finish that interaction and see where that goes. Yeah. Let's go ahead and cut. As much as I love this music, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off now.
I feel like you're being sarcastic, but I actually did like it a lot.
No, I do. I really love that music.
Okay.
That's why I picked it. Okay, so awesome session, everyone. Hope everybody got to do some stuff that they wanted. We'll pick up next time and figure where that goes. So let's go and do our do the history thing. And we got some more time to talk about it and not have to rush through it as much. So,
can I go first?
Yeah.
What's that face for, right?
Fun to make. It's just fun to
Did you
make.
say it wasn't me?
No, I just said it. It's just fun to make a face.
Oh, I thought you were like, it wasn't me. I was like, I literally saw your face. It was your face. I think Saul knows me better. The end.
Okay. So you get to increase your history.
And
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
that maxes out.
Oh yeah.
So with her, yep.
All right. So that rolls back over to 1.
To 1 or 0.
It goes from 3 to 1.
Okay, got it.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought it hit 4. Or
Well, it
Well, the
goes
fourth.
3. The 4 would be 1. So 1,
Okay.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So yeah, and you get to mark an improvement for that, or experience for that. Okay, so we have that. Who wants to go next? Tessa?
I think, based on a short interaction, that Garrett knows me better. Or differently.
Different works, yeah. But he knows more about you than he did before, I think, and not less.
A lot more.
All right, because less is an option if nobody's picked it yet, but
I might be, because I'm having trouble figuring out who knows me better.
yeah, you can't have somebody mark a negative experience or a negative history with you.
It just feels like it hurts, though.
But you can get an improvement if you go negative enough
And
times.
if you get to -3 also, or -4.
Yeah.
I thought
So if I'm sorry, I obviously don't know any of the rules to this game. So I say Garrett, and then Garrett marks that on his sheet.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Just kidding. I do know the rules.
And once you hit 3, then it moves over.
You have to, like, you're on 3, and then it has to roll over to 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
When you go to 4, it goes to 1 instead.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's not like 2, and then as soon as you go to 3, it rolls over. It's 3, and then when
Yeah.
you get something else, it just goes to 1.
Like, you'll
Cool.
see, like, you'll hit
I've been
3,
doing
and
it right.
you like can't click higher on the sheet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is your history with me 3 now?
It is.
All right. So you get some marketing experience. All right. Who's do that
No.
next?
Okay, wait. When it goes to 3, you get an experience? Or
Oh,
when
no,
it-
no, no.
Sorry. I thought he said it rolled over. Yeah.
No.
He says at
He's
3.
at
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at
Very
3.
sure.
At 3.
This game only has like 2 rules, you guys.
We're all
And we
learning
forget
new
both of them.
systems.
It's
Yeah.
2 weeks between sessions.
It is.
They hurt.
I know. Who's next?
I'm gonna go next, and mine's an odd one.
Okay.
Purely based on a small interaction that happened in our Roll20 chat that I'm now deciding is canon, which is Tessa and Phoenix having a dude bro chat, drinking beer in the sniper's nest.
Yeah, we decided that's what we were doing while everyone was having their psychic maelstrom
Yeah.
breakdowns.
Well, having a
was
panic
that Phoenix brought beer up to the nest, and we just like sat around having awkward bro chats.
Sure. I dig it. I'll
I
allow
have
it.
barely talked to anyone this entire session.
Well, yeah, you can't really market NPC, I guess. We'll have some more Phoenix time next week because there'll be some interesting stuff to happen there. All right.
Oh, we're at 0 now.
So the rest of the I was gonna make some sort of mention to all you guys failing that roll earlier, but any of the 3 of you.
I know I'm kind of in the same thing as Alex, where I was like, I didn't really talk all that much, but the small interaction with Tesla, I think, means that she would know him a little differently too.
Okay.
That's how proud he is.
Okay. So Saul and Leo.
Since Ryan's still muted, I'll go. I think Birdie probably knows Leopold a bit better from listening in on how Solomon brought him back.
That's true. Also, I think this is probably the first time Birdie's actually seen him work, because she's tried to not be around him so much.
Yep.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
So, I don't always hurt my playthings. Just sometimes.
Sometimes you're just creepy.
Sometimes I bring them in and, their ears are bleeding. It's like, I broke it. Fix it.
And she's like,
All right. Well, you have to go now, Grandpa.
I don't know what to say exactly because I don't know who knows me better.
It could be worse.
I don't know if anyone knows me worse either. I'm trying to think.
I mean, I saw some things.
Wait, did you see these things?
Well, no. I just saw your reactions to, like, how you reacted to something freaky happening.
Yeah. All right. I mean, in the absence of a better idea, I don't really, other than like maybe like with Garrett, I think Saul's been acting a little bit more cocky lately. That's a change. So, I'm gonna go with that instead. I'm gonna go with Garrett. I don't know if you know anything about me, but I think you've noticed that.
Yeah, because like for the first few like in-game weeks, Solomon has been up in his office and like has letting everyone else do things, and then now it's like, oh, he actually knows how to use the weapon he has. That's great. He's actually a leader. Good.
I'm not part of that duo, but I would like to support that with the evidence of do what I say and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Is that everybody? Yep, looks like it. So I think that's all the stuff we have to do for that. Okay, so finishing up our GGK announcement. I'm trying to get out of the headspace for of this game. That was an awesome session, guys. Let's see, did we have any stuff in the chat? Have that up.
You had a few new followers.
Few new followers. Okay, I'll just do general. I've been bad about having this stuff up. I'll make sure I have it next time. But thank you, everyone that followed today and that enjoyed our session here. This is a new game that we have been playing for a very short amount of time, and we're all sort of learning it and adapting with it and changing the way we do things. I've also come from a D&D background, playing a lot of D20 based systems, and it's a big switch over. So I appreciate you bearing with us on that. Especially with me, I'm trying to get into a different headspace of emceeing this versus DMing. That being said, if you are interested in what you saw and you want to watch more shenanigans from this group, we have a lot of great stuff going on. You can check out all of our lineup below in the chat or below on Twitch. We keep an up-to-date account of every stream that's going to be coming up and when we're going to be streaming it. If you want to know any live announcements, when things are going, when we're going to be streaming video games, we like to play a lot of Overwatch. But we play a lot of other games.
So much Overwatch.
But we play some other games too. We at one point played 7 Days to Die. I assume at some point we'll play that again. Don't Starve Together, Divinity, stuff like that.
I actually have this great campaign of Dream Daddy going on right now that you guys will love.
And stuff like Nancy Drew that you probably haven't played since the 90s. So
yeah, I also do that.
Yeah, so come and check us out, and you can watch all of that here on Twitch or on YouTube when we upload it there. We have a dice giveaway that's going on right now that you have the opportunity to enter. If you want to go over to our Twitter for that as well, there's a link pinned to the top of our Twitter where all you have to do is follow us and subscribe. Just click a couple buttons and you get entered in our giveaway a bunch of times. The more times you click, the more times you get entered, and you can win some dice. So do that, and we might give some dice to you. And once that giveaway will be done or finalized 2 weeks from today, where I will announce who wins, and then we'll do more giveaways later on. So keep following us for that. Am I missing anything else? No. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank my lovely players for participating. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night.
Good night, Internet.
Good night,
Good night, Internet.